Hello YouTube. Of late, I've been watching quite a few r/relationship videos and was reminded of this woman I was acquainted with in the late 1990s. Now, details of the story to follow have been changed for obvious reasons. Now, this woman will be called MB for Monkey Brancher, and MB's boyfriend will be called RP for Romantic Partner. Now, I was first acquainted with MB at a party organized by a colleague of mine. I believe at that point in time, MB and RP were together for 6 months. They were both students studying abroad, and they were back in Singapore for their holidays. They were both studying the same universities, same university, but different subjects, I think. Yeah, definitely different subjects. Now, over the next 3 years, I will run into MB at parties organized by my colleague, who happened to be MB's good friend. And I noticed that RP was never around. And the colleague mentioned that MB would go over to RP, who was a Malaysian, during the term holidays. So after 3 years, MB graduated and came back to Singapore to work. And I heard that MB broke up with RP a few weeks after returning to Singapore, apparently to date a guy from Singapore. Now, RP was due to graduate 1 year later. And given his degree, he would have easily found a job in Singapore. Easily, okay? So, now this is where the coincidence comes in. The guy, the Singaporean guy that MB left RP for, right, happened to work in my industry, and later we became acquainted, through conventions and, industry meetings, meetups, networking. And I found out, I think quite a couple of years later, right, couple of years after the breakup, right, after RP was done for this Singaporean guy, that MB and him were dating during MB's term holiday. That was why MB went over to RP during the term holidays instead of the other way around. And to add insult to injury, I know for a fact, right, that RP was like the ideal boyfriend. You see? Because that is what the colleague told me when I asked, hey, how come they break up? Then, was it because, was it because, RP and her, MB just couldn't get along, and MB by her own admission said that, oh, he's actually a very sweet guy, but, when you meet the right person, you meet the right person, as if she came back to Singapore and it was just love at first sight when he met this Singaporean guy. How devious, but I know what happened. I know what happened.